Maybe your pops was tops. Maybe your father's a bother. If he's angry and mad or an absentee lad, no matter what kind you had, here's fuck you, Dad.
Well, welcome to another episode of Fuck You Dad, everybody. We got a very fun guest this week. We got Gabriel Avizo. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
I've never wooed before. I think that kind of threw it off.
Yeah, the woo is a little much.
I also didn't know if there's more of like an intro.
No, I was really putting it on. This podcast is a group effort.
Okay. Hey, thanks for having me.
You're
Every
a
time
funny,
Kenyon
cool
opens
guy.
up, it's very underwhelming.
Well, it sounded like it was gonna there was gonna be some momentum and then
Listen, my podcast intros are a lot like life. You think a lot more is going to happen, and then it is what it is.
Yeah.
dude,
you know?
that's awesome. You have a lot of like life analogies already. You're
I'm
like
ready to go.
kombucha's like life.
Yeah, that's kind of my one metaphor, actually.
Is it?
I only know how to compare things to life.
It's good. Yeah, that's a good one. It was a good intro.
If it was a good intro, I don't think we'd still be talking about it. But happy to have you on the pod, man. I was also happy because you said you actually had a lot of stories and you wanted it because you weren't someone where we get you on here and then you're like, I actually love my dad. I don't even know why you're here. And we're like, okay, well, this is awkward. For the next 30 minutes.
I was saying that I have two dads. Well, I have a biological dad and then like my dad that.
And then your
raised
dad
me.
that you like love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love both.
No one's ever like my biological dad.
Yeah.
That's the dad I really like.
Yeah. I like both of them. They're both cool.
Yeah.
One of them's dead, and then my real dad's alive, and he's funny. He's fun. He's cool.
You have a biological dad, and you have. So were you adopted?
No. My parents got together, split, and then got together with other people.
Okay.
And so my stepdad was like the guy. Like my mom and my stepdad got together when I was like 5.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So he was like the person I lived with, and was like my dad.
So were you like a party baby? Like, did your parents hook up once and then got pregnant? Was it
No,
that kind
they
of
met
thing?
in high school, and then
high school sweethearts that didn't work out. You
Yeah,
don't hear
yeah.
that much about that story.
yeah, you don't hear.
Yeah,
much?
I don't feel
Oh
like
yeah,
I feel like everyone's like they
you're-
met in high school and it all worked. You
Yeah.
don't hear them like they met in high school and boy was that a mistake.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Also, like, I don't think Mexican people really get divorced, right?
No,
they
it's a little culturally taboo.
They like just stay together.
They kind of stick it. They stick it out, or someone just dips.
Yeah.
Okay, so they met when they were like teenagers?
Oh, they met when they were in high school, and then they had me and my older sister, and then they split up, and then they both got remarried with other people.
Okay.
And then my stepdad, Mark, came into my life pretty early on, and then my dad got married like 5 more times.
Oh, so your biological dad's a little bit of a stud, kind of.
Yeah, I guess
I don't know.
so.
What's up with the multiple marriages? I never understand when someone's like, I've been married 5 times. I'm like, maybe hold off. Like, sign a lease first, see what happens.
Yeah, I think like he got what is it called when you get your not circumcised
Vasectomy?
a vasectomy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got a vasectomy. So that's a good step for him, you know.
For sure.
Because he has a lot of kids. Yeah, I mean he has multiple kids with 5 different women, you know.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a big party.
It's a nation right there.
Yeah, it's a huge
Your
party.
wedding almost becomes like a oh, there we go. Now I'm coming through. The wedding must be like almost like 4th of July. Like every year it's like, oh, my dad's getting married again. Like it's like a yearly celebration that you just go through.
Yeah. I don't know. I've only been to one of his weddings.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you were like, I've seen them all. You went to one and you're like, I get it.
No, he's not. Okay, he hasn't been married 5 times, but he's been with like 5 different women, like seriously, and then he's been married 2 or 3 more times after. But like yeah. I'm like,
You can't keep up with it.
Well, you can't be.
I
I
wonder
think
what his,
third
like-
marriage. You're like, I'm not excited about this anymore.
yeah. I wonder what his
know?
friends think. They're like, we're going to Gabriel's wedding
Again? Like we were just
Yeah.
there. Like
That's
you're
what I'm
like on the. They're like
Yeah.
on the flight back from the wedding.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
already.
I'm literally still hungover.
Yeah,
I can't go
fuck.
back.
Mexicans don't question it though. They're like, dude, again? All right. Yeah, it's an open bar.
Yeah, all right.
And if it's not an open bar, they're bringing their own alcohol.
Yeah,
So
oh,
it's
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my uncle said that once when we were like going to this restaurant in El Salvador, and he had like a water bottle full of whiskey, and he's like, it's a Salvadorian trick, and I'm like, I think that's just being an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like a genius trick. Also, it's like a water bottle full of whiskey. Like anybody can see.
Yeah,
that
high
that's
schoolers in America are doing that
it.
too.
Yeah. Nobody.
I like that. It's a Salvadorian trick. It's the Latino loophole.
Yeah, and you're like, no. Also, you're like at a place where it's like very cheap to drink too. You're like,
Yeah.
like it's really we could afford to drink over there.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
So what kind of dad was your stepdad? Was he like?
Oh, dude, my stepdad was cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was like, he was in a punk band. And so he got me like,
shit.
into like punk.
Gabe is the most
Yeah.
Northern California
Dude,
man
he was-
I've ever met in my life. So my uncle's in a punk band. It's like so insane.
He was so cool, dude. He was in a punk band. He like, he was a tattooer.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, and then he was an Elvis impersonator for a little while.
Okay,
Was
that's
he,
definitely
was he
the
just
third
everything
thing.
that a teenager thinks is cool?
Yeah, yeah,
It's like-
he really was.
He's
Dude,
like
he was
every
badass.
single thing.
Yeah.
He was sponsored by Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, he could do a backflip.
Yeah, he was a professional skateboarder.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah. He had a
get
tattoo.
vape in class.
He had a tattoo studio, out of our house. It was sick, like an actual studio, not just like he wasn't
With
just.
multiple chairs and stuff.
Yeah, like he like turned the garage into like a certified studio.
Is that like
Damn.
safe, or is there some staph infections coming in?
No, it was like dude. You wouldn't think anything else. Like it was clean and it was like an actual studio.
And are you
Right.
from Northern California? Or
Yeah, I'm from the Bay.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think over there, right? It's normal to have businesses in garages. Like you just go and buy your groceries from some dude in a garage. I think that's
Do
like
you
a
know?
thing.
No,
up there.
that's not. That's not a thing about
like Mark
San
Maron,
Francisco.
dude. Mark Maron, you know.
You don't
he's-
just
he's
buy
got it in his
groceries
garage.
from a garage. Much of a Midwestern moron. It's like another large metropolitan area.
I could get why you think that though.
Yeah, I thought everyone in California
people
is
sell
so cool.
fruit on the side of the road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can buy
it's just-
fruit on the
If-
side
yeah,
of the
yeah,
road.
yeah. You're like, if they sell fruit on the side of the road, they probably do this.
Go to a
on the house.
garage.
I'd get a haircut in a garage in California. I'd trust that.
Oh yeah,
person.
my uncle used to cut hair out of our garage.
in a garage, dude. It's
Yeah.
a thing.
Okay, don't
Okay.
pretend like you riff at Eddie Merritt.
Yeah.
That was pretty dumb. But
Yeah. My dad used to tattoo out of the house, so like people like we'd always get like homeboys from like around the corner coming in, like just like, hey, is your dad here? He's like, I want to get something on my neck.
Yeah.
yeah. If
Do you
I,
have any tattoos?
yeah, I'm covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, my arms and my legs and my like my chest area.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
and did your stepdad give you like any of your first tattoos?
No, he didn't. No. Him and my mom split when I was like 16, and then I like kind of stopped talking to him for a long time, and then he just passed away recently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah, he was a cool guy though. I when I was 16, he almost tattooed me. He was like, if your mom says yes, I'll do it, and if your dad says yes, I'll do it. And I
Oh,
was like,
so
"My
he's
I was
like a responsible.
yeah.
So he said no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I was like, dude, my mom might say yeah, and I think she did, but I was like, there's no way my dad's gonna say yes.
Oh,
like,
really?
Why is my dad gonna let some other guy tattoo his
To be
son?
fair, I also like I wouldn't want whatever my 16-year-old thinks is cool at the time on him forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but dude, my dad wouldn't let like me get something stupid. He's doing it.
No,
You
not
know?
your stepdad, but your biological dad, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because he
yeah,
would
yeah.
need the okay from him.
But
Yeah.
I also understand your feeling of like, why would the biological dad be like, oh, you want to bond with your stepdad? Yeah, I'll allow that.
Yeah.
I would never ever do that.
That's where my real dad is like coming from. Like, dude, they're so different too. Like, my real dad is like, he's this tall, like super buff, like just really like into himself, like type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like my stepdad is just like laid back, like punk rock and roll, like, you know.
That's
And-
why you're a comic, dude. You have that weird mix of both.
Yeah, and my stepdad just like isn't like a toxic male like my real dad is. Like he's very like machismo.
Okay.
He's like, I'm not gonna let another guy touch my son.
Love that. I love that.
I'm like,
dude.
he's not trying to fuck me.
Yeah,
Dad.
and
Like,
he's like,
yeah.
"Beth, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So here goes.
Also, the
Absolutely not. I'm your father.
yeah.
Oh my
What were you
God.
like as a kid? Were you trying to get up to no good, or were you a well-behaved boy?
I don't know. I got in like trouble, but not like in a lot of trouble. My parents like just let me do whatever I wanted.
Okay.
And I didn't want to do a lot of like bad things.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, my dad was in like punk bands. He used to work.
I can't imagine him being like super disciplinarian.
He was a little bit more strict than my mom was, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because like But I started going to like punk shows when I was like a kid because he used to be a security guard.
I
at
mean,
a
you
lot
look
of the
like you were
venues.
born at a punk.
Yeah,
show.
I was. Yeah. I think that's like where him and my mom met at like some live music event.
Just moshing. It can get pretty sexy in there.
He was also like like rock and roll bands when he was like younger and stuff. He was like in a punk band later in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did he play?
He played drums mainly. That was his main instrument.
Fuck,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Well,
And
he
then-
had to have some drawback. He was sounding pretty great.
No,
No.
I'm the other way, dude. Drums are the coolest.
Drums are the
Drums
coolest.
Are the
yeah, I
shit,
think so.
man.
And then he played bass in a punk band.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was cool.
It's singer. When they're like, I'm in a punk band, I'm the singer. You're like, okay,
Yeah.
all right, whiny guy, get out of here.
yeah.
You want the fucking dude with the
Yeah.
with the drums, man. That's badass.
Yeah.
But you never got any real trouble. Like he never fucking yelled at you. Never gave you a
my
little bit of.
my stepdad. No, never. No, I never got in trouble with him.
What about your biological dad?
Yeah, but
did
for,
he
like-
ever occasionally pop in and just be mad at you?
I mean, he was like when we were younger. He was like a yeller, and he was like always upset.
Yes,
But-
dads are
Yeah.
eternally upset.
But I was like a piece of shit with him because I knew he'd get upset easily, and so I would do it to upset him. Like one thing,
Because it's funny.
well, he hated like when we had the hiccups for some reason. He was like, like it would like annoy him. He'd be like, "Hey, you got to figure that out." Yeah.
You're like 5 years old, and you're like, can you just go into another
Figure
room?
that out.
And so I knew that would bother him. So I would like pretend to have the hiccups.
Oh, there you go.
But for like hours.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I know you're fucking faking it. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, super obvious. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my
I used to, dude, I remember one time we were at like an Outback Steakhouse. And it was me, my dad, my
That's
stepmom.
where family fights happen.
Yeah, I
Dude,
was
that's
about to say,
the
that's
rim.
the site of a family
Dun,
meltdown.
dun, 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 that
Outback
fucking-
Steakhouse.
Yeah.
It's never anywhere super nice, but it's a place that you would think is nice, but is actually shit. That's
Dude.
where the fights go down.
Yeah, dude.
No, dude, that was super nice to us. I used
Oh
to
no,
love-
for sure. It's
Yeah.
nice to my family too, but in reality, it's not.
No, it's not.
no.
It's just like Applebee's and Chevy's, but like darker. You know,
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
for sure.
Yeah.
But we were at an Outback Steakhouse, and I remember one time it was like, yeah, me, my dad, my stepmom, and like our cousins and a couple of my dad's friends. And I was like, "Hey, Dad, are you still a virgin?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking virgin." And he throws down his fork. He goes, "Yeah, you really know how to ruin a good time." And then he looks at his friends, and he goes, "Hey, Jim, I'm sorry. He does this." And I was just like, I just pretended to cry.
What, you pretended to cry?
Yeah, he
Oh,
knew-
you're like a mischievous little
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
I pretended to cry, and he knew that I was faking it, but none of his friends did. And he's like, he's faking it.
Which is-
And I'm like,
I'm a good dad. You guys don't get
I
it.
also love. I'm kind of on your dad's side because it's
Dude,
such
I
an
know.
insidious thing to do is
I know.
fake crying,
I
and then
know.
he's like losing his mind. He's like, oh, no, you don't understand. This piece of shit's fake.
and I'm like dying inside, like watching him lose it. He's like, no, he's faking it. I'm not just saying that. Stop it. Stop. Show him you're not. Show him you're faking it.
In the middle of an Outback
Yeah, dude.
Steakhouse.
And I'm just
that
like
should
crying.
be the commercial for House Dex.
Absolutely.
It's a kid crying, he's faking it. And he just takes the steak and throws.
The blue
It's like
and
for
onion.
$4.99, you get two well-sized steaks to chuck at your son.
Dude, and then I remember like afterwards, I went to the bathroom, and then I just remember looking in the mirror and just smiling at myself.
Like, I got him.
Oh, man.
I got him.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you're a
You're the
mischievous
champ,
kid, dude.
Yeah, but he wasn't around.
No, he sucks. I mean,
You deserved it.
No,
You deserved it.
Yeah, no, your biological dad seems like he sucks. But
Yeah,
that's,
I never fucked with my stepdad. Yeah, just I don't know. He was kind of funny. He was like a janitor, and he used to like.
But you don't want to fuck with the guy who's around. He's around all the time.
Yeah,
You want to
and-
fuck with
dude,
the one who's.
Yeah, exactly. Also, he let me do whatever I wanted.
Yeah, there's no
Like
reason
he used to
fuck with
take me to like punk shows. He was like I said, he did security for the venues. So like a lot of the 18 and older shows, I would like get in because of him and like,
Hell
things
yeah.
like that. He made me a fake ID when I was in high school so I could get into a show.
Wow.
It just said like I was a senior in high school, but he like made it for me.
This guy's
he's
like an angel.
actually as cool as
Some
it gets.
sort
No,
of
he's
angel.
he's an actual angel now.
Yeah. No, yeah, you were right
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that
yeah.
one. But God,
Speaking
Yeah,
of
he
dads
rocks.
flipping out, dude, I have a quick one that I forgot for a long time until recently. I remembered it when the song came on. So, you guys had a family computer when you were kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Ours was outside.
what?
I'll tell you later.
Okay. We're gonna get to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because
well,
I'm blown
question.
away by that. We had a family computer, and I was downloading all this music onto it. This was like early LimeWire days.
Sure.
And I loved. This was when Eminem was in like D12 and shit. I loved like Detroit gangster rap. I got super into it when I was
I
like
could see a young
12,
Nick.
13.
That image is very hilarious to me.
It shouldn't have it shouldn't have happened because I had there's no connection to gang life whatsoever. I was
Yeah.
on my Razor scooter, like singing lyrics about like shooting people out of cars and stuff. But I love Detroit gangster rap. So my dad one time he goes into iTunes and he sees all these songs with that red explicit thing by it.
Yeah.
And he goes, this is weird. And he clicks on one, and it was Welcome to Detroit with Eminem and D12, like this fucking gangster song about shooting people, right? And he calls me downstairs, and he goes, Nicholas, son, you know what I found today? And when he's at the computer, it was like
Yeah, it was like-
he could have
it could've
found
been porn.
Yeah,
Is it
porn. Is it the like addictinggames.com? Is it a virus I got? Is it the It could be a multitude.
It's a
of shit.
Pandora's box of vices.
Nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
So I go, I don't know, what did you find today? And he goes, listen to this. Listen to what I found. This is what you're listening to, huh? And he plays Welcome to Detroit. And I'm still like in happy mode, so I'm like singing along to it. I'm like, singing all the words and stuff. And he turns it off and he goes, that is absolute shite, son. It's absolutely shite. Listen to something around your background. That's what he like told me to like, don't fuck with this. Like, you don't know about this life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, he challenged my gangsterness. He was just like, you don't
I've
you
been
don't
kind
live
of
this
funny.
life.
He was like pull a Glock out and hold it to his head. Don't
You don't
tell
know
me
what the
to do.
life is like on the streets, lad, do ya?
Yeah.
Where's your dad from?
He's from England. He's from Wolverhampton,
Oh shit.
England. Yeah.
I forget that everybody doesn't know, so at some point during the episode we have to explain that Nick
Every time
Nick isn't just doing a weird bit.
Yeah, yeah,
His
yeah.
dad is British. Nick isn't having a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
It's
So
just,
that also like he had no idea like what gangster rap, like what that universe is, just being from England. So he just heard like angry men yelling about killing people,
Yeah.
and he was like, I can't have my son listening to this.
yeah.
How old are you?
I was like 12 or 13.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we listened to Juvenile all the time at our house in Bone Thugs.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you have
That's
the
like
cool
a-
house.
Yeah,
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 it's like
yeah.
you a
I did
book
have a
show.
cool house. Yeah.
Did you like? Was it one of those houses where you'd have your pals over like every day, kind of thing, or and it was cool to like chill at your house? I always envied that.
Yeah. Because I had like a little.
That's a different house.
My house was the demilitarized zone. Dude.
Oh,
there was nobody.
There's
hanging
no
there.
one's coming over to my house. Absolutely not. I don't think anyone stepped foot in my house from like
See, your
third grade
house
to high
I
school.
thought would be fun because your mom can't hear anything.
No, it's fun when my dad didn't live there and then my mom was at work. That's when my
Well,
house
yeah,
kind
when-
of became an exo facto.
Okay.
Nah, whatever goes zone. Yeah.
Did you ever have like a banger of a high school part? I mean, I never did. I was a
No,
loser.
no.
I never really had a high school party per se, but my mom had to go do like training for Publix, like in Charlotte, like another town far,
Yeah.
for like
Yeah,
a week. And me and my brother just turned it into just a denizen for like a week. Like,
week, yeah.
We made like a gravity bong in the house.
Yeah.
We had just like random people coming in and out. Like
That's fun, though.
Like pass it. And like we were in high school too, so I'd be like, I got school tomorrow. It's like 1 a.m. And the random people just passed it out. And then I was burning a lot of incense thinking that's going to cancel out. Like, all
Oh
the
yeah,
weeds.
dude.
That's a
Remember trying to
classic
cover
high
up
schooler
weed?
thing. Yeah, yeah.
Dude, that was the worst.
Yeah, I was so dumb. My mom came
God
back and I'm
damn.
like, why is the house smell like
Yeah.
fucking like a smoke shop?
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on right
Yeah,
now?
even if you like burn a million incense, it's still like, why does it
Why does it
smell
smell
like
like
a weird like
Dude, one time-
yoga studio? in here?
Yeah, well, one time my mom and my stepdad left for something, and I like smoked weed in the house, and then or not in the house, but in the garage.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it smells like weed. Like, I don't know why I just didn't smoke in the backyard. Like, I smoked
Yeah,
in the
I-
garage,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then I was like, well, it smells like weed. And I had cigarettes too, and I remember I smoked multiple cigarettes and then like blew it to cover up the weed smell.
Yeah,
So-
but that's also bad.
well,
right?
because my stepdad smoked cigarettes.
Okay.
So I was like, well, they'll just.
He is cool as fuck. Every detail you drop, dude, he gets cooler.
Yeah, it'd be
and
kind of
cooler.
weird if he was a tattoo artist at Bug Band who didn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
especially
true.
at the time. It makes sense now. But yeah, so I like smoked all these cigarettes and then like blew them. I was like, and then I was like, oh fuck, it's going to smell too much like cigarettes.
Yeah.
So I smoked a little bit more weed. Yeah.
That's like such a stone.
I know. It's so stupid. And then I remember I opened the garage door and then like smoked in the driveway, like blowing into the garage so it could like be the right amount of cigarettes.
Yeah, I think you were just hot. You were
Yeah,
just
you were
high.
like literally just stone trying to like make the
Yeah,
perfect combination.
Yeah, and then I got really scared because I was like, well, my dad, you know, like my stepdad is with my mom. Like, why would it smell like cigarettes? You know?
You realize that after you've almost burnt your house down.
Yeah,
smoked a
Trying
whole
to-
pack.
Yeah.
So I just left. I was like,
Sure, like, just
yeah,
abort.
Yeah, so I just left, and I like got on my skateboard and I forgot like wherever I went, and then I come home, and my mom was like, Gabe, I need to talk to you, and I was like, fuck, I'm in so much trouble. And wherever I went, it was like with like a buddy or something. I smoked more weed, so I came home and I was like high and scared. I was never like around my parents high and like had a good time. You know, I was always,
I don't think anybody has.
It
and
immediately
I was like, then why do we?
removes the
Yeah,
good time.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know why I would
Brings in
do
the
it.
bad time.
You know, like my mom's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be there in 5 minutes," and I would like smoke. I'm like, "Why? Like this is
I
not."
would do that.
Yeah,
it's
like, for-
absolutely lunacy.
for what?
Yeah.
So my mom. So I come back. I'm fucking high. My mom's like, "Gabe, I needed, you know, I need to talk to you." And my stepdad is sitting down in the kitchen too. And I was like, "Oh fuck! Like if he needs to talk to me too, like I'm in trouble."
Yeah.
And I like immediately started crying and I was like, I know. And then she was like, you know? And I was like, yeah, my bike got stolen because I left the garage open. And that's what they were telling me. Yeah. And I thought that they were
Wait,
like,
did you start going like, it was my favorite bike? Like,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
leaning into
yeah.
how sad
Oh,
you were
that'd
about
be
the-
funny if you were just like, oh, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
but I was like already crying and I was like, I know. And they're like, you know? And then I was like, yeah. And then like my dad was like, my stepdad was like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I know that like you loved riding that bike and like your dad bought it for you because like my real dad bought it for me. And then I was like, what? And then he was like, and everyone's confused. And then I pretended that I knew. And then like I had to go to the garage to see. And I was like, oh, someone stole my bike. And I was like, fuck. Like I left like the garage open. But I just like pretended that like.
They weren't
Yeah.
mad at you for leaving the garage door open? Because that in my house, dude, if I
Yeah, I'm
left-
sure she was. But my mom probably.
The crying and the bike stole.
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
someone stole his bike, so he's punished.
Yeah.
Kid doesn't have a bike.
That's
anymore.
fair. If I left my garage door open, dude, holy fuck. I got a slip. My dad used to hit me with a slipper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, never in the face, but in the body.
Yeah.
And I would get a couple body shots for sure for leaving the garage door
It's
open.
such a like effeminate tool of choice.
Right? I think that's why I picked it, so that I
There's
couldn't complain about
there's
it
not
later.
like another level of demeaning to that.
Yeah, 'cause
like,
a
take your
belt, that's like-
Timberlanders. A belt's going pretty hard.
Yeah, but this was just like one of those, but it had like the hard bottom to it, you know, the slipper.
Yeah.
And he just fucking wham, dude. And he
My
wouldn't.
my dad was much like he lived his life. It was just impulsive, random, like he just chucked a cereal bowl
Yeah,
at me and
yeah.
I dodged it Matrix style.
Yeah,
my
my-
brother was like, he is the chosen one. I just saw the code come by me.
My family just uses words to hurt each other.
Yeah, there's another. That's a very effective.
Words are more effective than.
I wish I
than-
got hit sometimes though. I'm like, fuck, like, you know, sometimes you just say something that hurts, and you're like, that was exactly it. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Like my mom would just like be very specific about things.
Like, let's rehash some.
I want to know.
Yeah, what's the
Did
sniper
she break
got?
you down? You do have one story you said you wanted to tell.
about my dad.
Yes.
I'll tell that story.
Yes.
All right, let's hear it.
Because I told you my dad was a tattooer. We used to go to this taco truck like all the time, and there's this guy that worked there who was like, he's like a young guy, he's like 23, and he asked my dad like what he did, or he was like, where do you get all your tattoos? And my dad told him, and he's like, I tattoo. So he like asked if he would tattoo, and my dad was like, yeah. So he comes by the house to get tattooed, and he was like, what do you want to get tattooed? And he's like, I want a teardrop tattooed on my face.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and my dad was like, and we lived like in a place where there was like a lot of homeboys, and so like my dad's already like dealt with that, and but he was like, oh man, he's like, I'm sorry, I don't do anything gang related, and then the guy was like, yeah, no, I like me neither, And he was like,
He's like,
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
yeah. And so like my dad was like,
It's like, well, it's a teardrop to represent my battle with depression.
well, dude. So let me tell you. So
Yeah.
he's like, I don't do anything gang related. And the guy's like, yeah, me neither. And my dad was like, it's cool, man. Like, you know, like, I'm cool. Like, you don't have to pretend that you're, you know, something you're not.
Right,
like,
right.
He goes, but I don't tattoo anything that's gang affiliated. And the guy was like, that's cool. I don't want anything gang affiliated. I just want a teardrop tattooed on my face. So my dad was like, dude, do you know what that means? And he was like, I guess not. And he's like, well, why do you want that tattooed? And he was like, because, well, he says in Spanish, they're speaking in Spanish. And he says, because all of the time I'm sad. Yeah. My dad.
It was Lil Peep, dude.
Yeah.
Lil Peep.
And my dad was like, oh, yeah, man, that doesn't mean that you're sad all the time. It means that you've murdered someone. And the guy was just like, oh, no, man, I've never murdered anyone.
He
Like,
sounds like he's about to murder himself.
Yeah.
Some serious help.
but like my
I
dad.
can't even imagine looking at a grown man straight. Well, because I'm sad all the time.
Dude, I know.
thought instead of putting action to change said sadness, I just want to symbolize this internal misery on my face
Dude,
forever.
he's like, I
hey,
want-
what's the teardrop about? Are you in a gang? You're like, no, I'm just clinically depressed. And Logan, dude, in hipster neighborhoods, they're gonna gentrify and take the teardrop back.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone you see is just gonna be like, I'm politically
Well, I mean,
depressed,
like,
you know?
dude, you know, this guy can't, like, he wants other people to know that he's sad, you know? He has no other way of letting other people know besides getting it tattooed on his
teardrop,
face.
yeah.
And so he tells him, he's like, no, it means you've murdered someone. He's like, no, like, I've definitely never murdered anyone. I want something else instead. And my dad's like, what do you want? He's like, my second choice was I was thinking of getting a snake tattooed on my neck.
Oh, so he only wants like tattoos that make people think he's sketchy.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
But I remember the guy, because I was like there, I was like hanging out. And I remember the guy being like, does that mean anything?
I want the snake to be crying, though.
Yeah, the snake should be sad.
So my dad was like, here, he's like, here, take this book home. And it's like a reference book of like different animals. He's like, there's a whole section of like snakes. He's like, choose one, come back, you know, tomorrow or whatever. And we'll draw something up. But he's like, if you see something on the internet or like a magazine, bring it in. Like, you know. So he's like, all right. So he comes back and he has like the book, but then he has like a printed piece of paper. And he's like, yeah, I saw this image. So I printed it out at the library. And he hands it to my dad. And he goes, this is the snake I want tattooed. And it's the Gecko lizard.
No!
Yeah, dude.
No!
It's the
This guy wanted the Gecko lizard on his neck?
Dude, it's the Gecko lizard, and it's printed in color. So he paid for color printing at the library, and then it's like a coupon, and then it's like half of the Gecko lizard, and then the coupon, and then the entire half is like HTML, like writing for some reason,
yeah.
you know. And then my dad like looks at it and tries to explain to him that it's not a snake, and that he's like, it doesn't mean anything bad though, right? And he's like, yeah, but it's not a snake.
It does mean you could save 10% or more on car insurance.
Yeah. Is he trying to up that 10%? Is he trying to be like, if I get the neck tattoo, will I get 30?
So he like is going back and forth with this guy. And I remember at one point he's like, dude, I'd rather just tattoo the fucking teardrop. On his
Yeah.
face. Like, you know.
And hope he kills himself and never talk to him again.
Hopefully he gets jumped into a gang. Like, yeah. But so he prints it on the what is it called?
The stencil?
The stencil.
Yeah.
And he puts it on his neck, and it's the Gecko lizard.
No.
Dude, and it's like, I don't know.
funny.
Yeah, it's like small. It's like this big, you know. So he looks in the mirror, and my dad's like, oh, like, what do you think? And he goes, oh, I want it bigger. And he goes, are you sure? And he goes, yeah, I want it bigger. So he does it a little bit bigger. And then he looks in the mirror again and he says, dude, I want it bigger. And he does it again and he wants it bigger. And at one point, my dad's just like, dude, if I go any bigger, it's not going to look like a snake. He's like, no, dude, I'm good with it being big. So he has like a huge Gecko lizard.
He went from I'm so depressed,
Yeah.
I want a teardrop on my face forever, to I want a neck tattoo of the Geico lizard.
Yeah, he's like, I either live in fear or I want people to fear me. Like,
Well,
my God.
Jesus.
yeah.
That
I bet
is-
you can't even get a job at Geico if you have a
No.
Geico tattoo. They'll
I
be
mean,
like,
dude,
"Get
this
the fuck
guy,
outta
this
here."
guy was like full, like he was straight from Mexico, like worked in like a taco like truck, like he didn't.
That to me doesn't mean Geico.
Yeah, that doesn't automatically mean Geico. If anything,
he's from Mexico?
That means almost no Geico Gecko.
No, I mean, like, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
Moved to try to start a new life. Well, why disrupt it with the Geico tattoo?
I moved to America not to help my family, not to make my, get a job and I can make money. I just want a lizard on my fucking neck, dude.
Well, I just meant that he doesn't understand.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like that might be universal. No, Geico Gecko. I don't think that's a cultural thing. I feel like any corner of the earth, it'd be a little bizarre.
You could go ask a child in Africa, like, do you want a lizard tattooed on your neck? And they'd be like, no, water. I want water.
Yeah. Dude, and then my real dad has like the worst tattoos.
Oh, okay.
They're just so bad. He has a tattoo. He has all of his kids' names tattooed, which is like he doesn't even see us, which is like
That's
crazy.
hilarious.
Well, that's the only way he can see you guys.
Yeah, which is crazy.
It's on his bicep.
Yeah.
And then me and my dad like go very long periods of like without talking to each other.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very big theme of the podcast.
Big theme of the pod.
Yeah, and one time I hadn't talked to him forever. One time he called me. He was like, "Hey, what's your nephew's name?" And I was like, "What?" So I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, he gets mad right away. He's like, "What do you mean? What do I mean? What?" Like, what?
Dad shit.
Yeah. He goes,
What the fuck do you mean? What do you mean? You heard me.
"What do you mean? What do I mean? Did not? What is his? You know what a name is? Do you know what a nephew is?" And I was like, "Dude, what the fuck is going on?" I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's Noah." And he goes, "Yeah, that's all I needed to know," and hung up.
You're like, why don't you know his name?
Jesus Christ. And so I was like, that was so strange, like whatever. And then about like 3 hours later, I get a photo from him, and he has my nephew's name tattooed on him. He's met him once.
Oh my god, he was just at the tattoo place. Be like, what's that fucker's name?
Yeah,
again?" Yeah, I'd like to remember him for all eternity. He means a lot to me.
Yeah.
What's his name?
And then he got in a motorcycle accident like a long time ago, so he has like scars on his body from it, and he's gotten all of his scars traced in red ink, like tattooed.
Holy shit.
It's so bad.
That's kind of terrifying.
It looks so bad.
It looks like fresh flesh wounds then? If like
no,
scars
it's
are
just like
tattooed red?
no, it's just like it just looks like someone traced a line with like Sharpie.
Weird.
Yeah, it looks terrible. It looks terrible. And then underneath one of the scars it says, "What didn't kill me made me stronger." And then,
Why is your dad like 14 years old?
and then my dad does construction. He has like a concrete company. And you guys know what Granite Rock Construction is? It's a cement company, but it's the cement that he uses all the time. So he's not associated with this company at all. He just buys their cement. He went to the tattoo shop. He comes back.
No way.
Dude, I wish I had a photo of this. I'll send it to you guys. From here to here, it's a concrete truck pouring concrete that says Granite Rock is #1.
This man got a sponsored ad on his arm forever.
Dude, him and the fucking
I
Geico
can't
Gecko
imagine
guy.
a place like that. They
Yeah.
should go out together, dude. Yeah.
And,
they're billboards.
Literally.
So that's probably the worst one that he has is Granite Rock is #1. He got in the newspaper for that for some reason. Like, man dedicated to his job. Like something crazy. Yeah, it was insane.
Wow. A Mexican newspaper?
No, it was an English newspaper.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. What I don't know. He has tribal everywhere.
That's always a red flag.
Dude, because he's like
tribal scares
He's
me,
like
bro.
super buff. He's like
Yeah.
in really good shape. And around his bicep, he has barbed wire.
Okay.
With barbed wire around it.
Yeah, the barbed wire isn't enough.
And the it's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you got
it
barbed
did
wire on the barbed wire.
It did start as one, just like, little bracelet of barbed wire. And then like 10 years later, he was like, I'm going to add more. And then he went.
There's a high security prison in here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like black and gray. It like doesn't look that good. And then he got realistic blood drops dripping from the outside barbed
Holy
wire.
shit.
Yeah, and then underneath is like a teddy bear with my name on it. Oh, and then he got.
Well, isn't that kind of a beautiful depiction of your relationship?
And then he has his full name tattooed on his back.
What, just in case he forgets?
His full name.
What is that?
Dude,
There's an easy gay sex joke right there.
Oh
for
my
you.
god, dude. And then he has Gabriel has his name is Jose Gabriel Avizo.
Okay.
Mine is Gabriel Antonio Avizo. But on my birth certificate, he decided to put junior, which I'm not a junior, right?
You don't have his name.
His middle name is my first name, right? But he does go by Gabriel. But even if his first name was Gabriel, we have 5 other Gabriels in our family before him. I still wouldn't be a junior.
Yeah, you'd be the 5th.
The 7th.
7th? Holy shit.
He's the 6th.
Wow.
But his name isn't even Gabriel. Yeah. Yeah, he's a wacky dude.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Am I talking too much?
No.
Okay.
No, we do have to wrap it up, but go ahead.
Bit, yeah.
Okay. I remember one time I was like, man, I just started driving, so I was probably like 16 or 17, and I needed to make like some money, and he has his own business. So I called him. I was like, hey, can I work for you this weekend to make some money? And he's like, yeah. So I go over to, he lived, like a commute away. And so I like stayed the night. I wake up like at like 4 a.m, construction's early. I hop in his truck with him. I fall asleep. I wake up. We're in front of like a gym, like a Gold's gym, but the gym has like those like the wall is like a window, so you could see through it. My dad's in like full Carhartt gear, lifting weights at like 4:30 in the morning.
He's like, oh, you want to go to work with me, son? Yeah, absolutely. We go pump iron before we do this shit.
Dude, I woke up. I was like, oh, shit, it's like 4:30. Fall back asleep. It's like 5:30. He's barely getting in the car. In full Carhartt, like winter construction
Something
gear.
about working out in not workout clothes is fucking terrifying, dude. People running, jogging, somebody jogging in jeans.
Oh, but my dad is like, what do I need to wear sweats for? What? I have jeans at home. Yeah. So he'll do everything in like jeans and like, yeah.
But just the image of somebody in jeans just fucking like lifting tons of weights means that guy's gonna fight somebody today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of a scary looking dude. Yeah. Yeah. And he owns a strip
what
club.
happened? So he was just
Wait, your dad owns a strip club?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why is your dad
God,
like a
how is that at the
amalgamation
end of the
like 10
podcast?
million?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's great. Well, Gabe's got a shitload.
We gotta
of
have a
great
part 2, dude.
We will. Well, Gabe's got a lot of great stories you should tell on your show, Campfire Stories, here at Lincoln Lodge.
Yeah,
all the
every other
time.
Friday.
And then
that's
you
a great
started a
show.
new show recently, also that's called.
Laugh Now, Cry Later. It's
And-
the first Saturday of every month.
And that's also here at the Lincoln Lodge.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So you can go see Gabe shows. We're on there sometimes, and you come to the Lincoln Lodge 7 days a week for fantastic comedy.
Best comedy club in the city, baby.
Goddamn
Yep,
right.
yeah.
And then, Gabe will probably be on a Patreon sometime, telling even more extreme stories. So,
we gotta have you on the Patreon, dude. Really get you untapped, unfiltered.
All right. Let's
Raw Gabe.
Let's do it,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you again for being on, man. That was so fun.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
yeah.
Hey guys, you just listened to another episode of Fuck You Dad. If you could follow us on our Instagram, which is FCKYOUDAD podcast. That's the important one. We also have a Twitter account, which is FCKYOUDADPODCA1. If you could follow that. Also, please submit any father stories that you have that you'd like us to make fun of, laugh at, or share. Shoot that to our Instagram DMs. And if you could please go ahead and rate the podcast, share the podcast with your friends and family that might enjoy it, and keep listening. Thank you so much.